Asking all of you today, any of you who are taking video tonight, this piece I wrote as a video response to someone by the name of Dr. Usman, who was recently on Blue Nile TV, and he made some comments. He was part of a panel discussion. He made some comments that sort of riled something in me, so I don't want to be unfair to him in any way. So if you take video and you know how to get in contact with Dr. Usman, please send him this video. It's my personal message to him. The title of the video simply read دكتور سوداني نقطتين فوق بعض البنات السودانيات شينات وقصار. Translation: Sudanese professor declares Sudanese girls short and ugly. I should have known better than to watch, but against my better judgment, and you can go ahead and call that lethal feline curiosity, I press play. The following is a direct quote. بالنسبة للمرأة السودانية أنا أفتكر أنا غبت كثير عن السودان قد يكون ربع قرن جيت اندهشت جدا أول حاجة نسبة الجمال قلت جدا يعني أغلبهم شينات خالص بعدين الشينات ذاته ما بريحوا الإنسان يعني أنا بالذات بتعمل لي حمى بتعب جدا أغلبهم شينات وقصار جدا ما زي زمننا نحن أي والله يا بروف يا حلو الأيام زمان. That beautiful burden our generation is doomed to bear, forever reminded of the torch we failed to carry, even though its flame was extinguished long before we got here. But no matter. I would like to apologize to you, Professor, on behalf of God and my gender, for being ugly and short, for daring to walk around with this shame uncovered, for causing you such intense discomfort. I mean, what can I say? Blame it on our meager diet. Blame it on the influence of the satellite. Hell, you can blame it on Jamie Foxx and alcohol if you want to. But truth be told, things have changed. And like you said, you've been absent for a while. So allow me to give you a very quick update. You said, and I quote, بنات الجامعة كان زولي عين لون يرجف ذاته من جمال ومن شعور وما بيعملوا كريمات والمصايب دي لكن هسي الحكاية كده ما تفهمها يلا أنا أفهمك. كان يا مكان في قديم الزمان قد يكون ربع قرن فاطمة السمحة بخدرتها وبضفايرها قالوا عليها أجمل بنت في البلد. الليلة فاطمة قالوا لها خدرتك دي أمشي أفركيها وضفايرك أنقضيها لأنه بخلقتك دي أبدا ما مريحة. وفاطمة وأخواتها عاد كان ما خلقة أدب وأخلاق. So they whittled themselves down, melted their facets in acid, acquired the desired smooth finish, and asked, كده بنتبلع? Because apparently we're nothing but chasers, pretty faces put on display to be bought and sold and later stored as afterthoughts, pretty faces mounted and hung on the wall like deer heads, prize is prized till the novelty dies, then later casually thrown into conversations. Quote, المرأة لا مؤاخذة. A man once told my cousin, who I should mention was sitting in her office minding her own business, that a dark-skinned woman isn't a woman to him. Quote, المرأة الزرقاء بالنسبة لي ما مرأة أصلا. By his logic, it's a wonder he could even manage to talk to her in the first place. She donning skin like mahogany without mistaking her for something else. A well-crafted chair, perhaps, draped in a scarf, probably left behind by some white woman. In one fell swoop of his opinion, he managed to erase her entire existence, proving that to some, mahogany skin is nothing but a sack, better yet, a floating uterus, whose sole purpose is to bring forth big mahogany men who will know better than to get involved with detached reproductive organs posing as women. But I digress, although not too much, I guess, since you said, and I quote, بعدين ده ذاته في الاختيار مشكلة. يعني الرجل مثلا بيختار بنت بعدين تظهر له على حقيقتها بعد الزواج يعني، فالقبح ده ذاته ما بخلي الاستقرار. صحيح والله. الحسنة في الملعون زي الشرف القندول. It's so hard being a Sudanese man. What you endure, the sacrifices you make, and the backlash. That backlash you face when you dare to speak out about your unspeakable fate. At least I'm assuming there's backlash, since you later went on Facebook and declared, and I quote, أنا مصر على وجهة نظري واحتمال وجهة نظري مش صح. طيب أنا شايف إنه بنات السودان أغلبهم شينات، ده رأيي وأنا مصر عليه. أنا شايف إن نفيسة جميلة ووجهة نظري مش صح، تسكت مش تجعجع. Oh, it gets worse. التفاح الطازج والجميل في السوق ما بكركله عشان الناس تشوفه، لكن التفاح المعطوب والمعفص سيده بكورك بأطول حسه عشان الناس تشتريه. كده أول شي سؤال، أنت آخر مرة تمشي السوق بتين بالضبط؟ ثم ثانيا يا أستاذ يا بروف يا دكتور، زي ما أنت طلعت في التلفزيون ويعجعت، your word, not mine, despite attempts by your flabbergasted co-panelist to curtail your right to express your opinion, quote, أجي يا بروف ده كلام ده؟ كمان أنا كبني آدمة حية وقاعدة في البلد دي، أي نعم قصيرة وشينة، لكن برضو عندي الحق إنه أجعجع برأيي وحجعجع برأيي because someone has to remind these young men that it isn't impossible to find comfort with a Sudanese woman. Someone has to remind these young men that marital bliss isn't measured by the length of her hair, that marital bliss shouldn't wash off along with the makeup on her face, that الاستقرار ده هي ما شايلاه في جيبها كويس ولا كاتبه لها أبوها. That marital bliss is hers and his for the taking, hers and his to work hard for and attain. بعدين يا دكتور، أنا كويس للدنيا والزمان. Not that I even have to explain myself to you, but أنا ما بجعجع في الفاضي. أنا بجعجع because I have to, because I must, because people like you make it a necessity. يا أخي people like you مضطهديني ومحتقريني وشايلين حقي وكمان دايرين أسكت، والله ما أسكت. أنا حجعجع لي ولأخواتي to keep us visible, to keep us viable in a society you created and where we're told repeatedly that we shouldn't be. So you'll have to excuse me if I take it upon myself to remind these young women that they have their place here, that their fathers don't deem them too ugly to bear, that they don't bear the same value as rotten fruit, that their value isn't determined by their exterior, that their value isn't determined by men, that their value isn't determined by anybody other than them, that people like you will place the weight of the world on their looks. But the reality is, it doesn't even matter because your opinion doesn't matter because عقد الناس ما مسؤوليتنا. المهم خلاصة الموضوع وخلاصة الكلام إنه كل زول حر في رأي، لكن للأسف وفعلا أماتنا ما خيتوا كله لما قالوا شنو القلم شنو